welcome back to We're Just Here to Make Friends, episode 7.
I'm Gabby.
And I'm Elisa, and today we're joined by...
Jameson Zoller, Matthew Williamson.
Yay! Hi, guys.
Hi,
You
guys.
guys
Hey.
are the first MT28 guests that we've had.
First freshman!
Yeah.
Come on, freshmen, rise up.
Very good. So first question we want to ask you guys is, you already said your names, but in your freshman, which is your grade, so where are you guys from?
Okay,
Where are you guys from?
Good enunciation there.
Thank you.
I am from Fort Thomas, Kentucky, which is just about 15 minutes south of UC.
I'm from. I like how you're holding this. Can I hold this?
Yeah, you may.
Awesome. I'm from Wilmette, Illinois, which is around a 5.5 hour drive from Cincinnati.
Very cool. Close to Chicago?
Yeah, like 35 minutes out.
Chicago.
Awesome.
Oh, guys, look at this.
Just hold it together.
Yeah, just be a
Just, like,
part
both
of,
hold
you
it,
know.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that would be stupid
That
if
would
we
kind
did
of be.
Oh. Okay.
What was you guys' CCM audition songs, if you can even remember? It wasn't that long ago, though, so.
Hmm.
Some of the seniors didn't remember. I don't
Let
really-
me.
That's valid. But, that was a long one.
Yeah.
Actually. I think I'll remember in 4 years.
I will 100% remember in 4 years. In 4 years, I will be able to perform them like
Just
I
like
did
you
those
Will
songs
never leave your mind.
so many times. Like I will never forget them. So my contemporary song was "In These Skies" from Ace the Musical. It's about
Ooh.
flying a little airplane.
Yeah.
Just a little while.
And my golden age song was called "What Kind of Fool Am I?" from Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, which I'm sure you
Interesting show
haven't
title.
heard of. It is an insane musical about a guy. It's one guy, and it's like a 15-woman ensemble, and it's just him and 15 women, and it's him at the end of his life.
That's awesome.
At the end of his life, he's like, because the whole musical is him just like playing with, like, he's married, but then he like goes out and like cheats on his wife all the time and like doesn't care at all. And then it's at like the end of his life, he's like, what have I done?
Oh.
What kind of fool am I? Like, why haven't I like truly fallen in love?
Hmm.
And so obviously, like, for all of you out there who are maybe thinking about song selection,
Wow,
and
great tangent.
a lot of people are going to be telling you like it has to be age appropriate, and that's a very important thing when you're selecting your songs, is finding material that you can relate to, and the biggest thing about that is age. So picking a song of a guy who's literally about to die, like at the end of his life, was a risk for sure, but you have to find I just lost my train of thought. It was a risk.
You were willing
It was a
to
risk.
take.
But I found my own personal connection to that song, and I kind of framed it as less of like, what have I been doing my whole life, and like, instead it was more of like, what kind of fool am I, in the fact that like I am drawn to theater because I've never been someone who's like super expressive and emotional and that kind of thing, and theater gives me like an outlet for that. So that's why I was drawn to that song. So it's less, if you like a song and you're drawn to it, use that song. That's the moral of that story.
Retweet.
You killed that. So probably Aviator.
Probably Aviator the musical.
Go
Matthew, go.
I'm going. I'm sorry. For my CCM audition, I sang my golden age was "The Thought of You" from Fanny.
Ooh.
And I found that song from my friend Asher, who sang it at Artsbridge, which was a summer prep, like 2-week intensive at Baldwin Wallace that I did. And they sang that there, and I was like, I want to sing that song, and so I did. And stealing rep isn't a real thing, by the way. Like, just like all rep is made for everybody. Like, obviously not all rep, but like if somebody sings a song and you're like, I want to learn that song and sing it, and it's your story to tell, steal that shit.
Real.
And if you know you can sing it well too, and you're like, it's like waiting for you, just do it.
It's correct, because me, Asher, and another one of my friends, Eli Strain, all sang "The Thought of You" from Fanny.
Really?
And
college auditions?
for every single college.
Oh my
We
god.
all
my
sang the
God.
same song, and Asher and Eli are two of the most talented people I've ever met. So it was literally just us three getting like interchanged between these different schools for like acceptances and wait lists, and it was because we all sang the same song. And then me and
That's
Eli
so
are like the
funny.
same like type.
Mhm.
So it was like that was silly. And then my contemporary song was Every Single Day from Harmony, which was I was able to get that sheet music from Artsbridge from one of my professors there, because the show they had an alumni in the cast, and so he had the whole score, and he was like, you should sing this song. And so I did, and the sheet music wasn't available yet. So it was nice to be able to come into an audition with a song that not many people like knew.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did that too.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say Gabby did that.
It's like a super old, like some people had the old Barry Manilow version because that was where it came from, but I had the show version, and I really loved that song. And yeah, it was fun. The CCM audition was a joy. I feel like
Where
was
did you
our
audition?
favorite.
Unifieds?
Yeah.
Chicago?
CCM was your favorite audition. Wow.
100%.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
I'll say it, like the CCM audition. I was a little scared going in there.
Really?
I was a little scared for the CCM.
Why?
The
At
stakes are
that
so
point,
high,
like you really wanted this school specifically, right? Okay,
and
yeah.
they were very like they were getting through. Like they just they were getting through the day,
Mhm.
and like so like we know all these faculty now. It's like they're the most lovely people ever. Like we
Yeah,
love them
they're, like,
so
perfect.
much. Like they're amazing, but in the room they're like, okay, go.
Yeah.
Because that's just what they had to do.
Yeah,
need-
like, they gotta get to
just-
the next
They have
so many people.
so many people. Like they just have to get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a little scary.
Mine was perfect. Literally,
Well,
I-
okay, whatever.
it was the
Okay.
best audition ever. Like I walked in, I like sang my songs. Rachel was like, I sang "Screw Loose," which is like, it's freaking "Screw Loose." Like every girl sings that song. It's like the most classic Broadway audition song. And she was like, I have heard that song 14 times this week, and I hate this song. And when you said you were gonna sing it, I was very upset. And then she was like, it's the best version I've heard of that song ever. And I was like, what's happening? Like I've never.
Okay, flex.
I was like, I've never gotten this kind of feedback in audition. I was like, thank you, thank you.
Super subtle flex.
And then after that, I did my monologue from Dance Nation, which is like the
Right.
one I've been working on.
Yeah, that's the one that you did for Diag. Yeah.
It is, yeah. And it was not good at Diax, but it was good in my actual audition. Because she was like, it was different, and I was like, yeah,
For my mom's cancer.
yeah, that one. But she was like, that's my favorite play, and everyone's done that monologue and did it totally wrong, and she was like, you did it perfectly, and I was like,
Subtle
and they
flex
told-
number 2.
but they told me this in
Like
the
the
room,
fun.
and I was like, what's happening? Because like you don't get that kind of feedback in a college audition. It's usually like, and what else are you interested in? Thank you, like that's it. And then the people that had gone before me, they would walk out, and then Chaz would walk out like 2 minutes later and come get the next person. But Chaz walked me out like they didn't have to talk at all after that audition. Like it was really weird. And then I was like, that's my last audition at Unified. They were like, wow, your last audition, well, it was a great one. And then I left, and I was like, what just happened? Like, and that's I kind of like, I was like, if I didn't get in, what did I do wrong? Because they didn't tell me like anything to fix or anything like that. So I was like, am I crazy? But that was pretty cool.
I feel like for like audition
You
college
were gonna
auditions
make a
though,
bit.
like I feel like you just have to be like easy on yourself. Like going through the spiral of like what did I do wrong is just
Oh, it's awful.
the worst thing in the world.
And also, like, all the dance calls made me so nervous because I'm just like not that as much of a dancer as it. And that one was like Chaz literally talked after, and the one thing he was like, I noticed you were struggling with some of the moves, but you really sold it and had a lot of fun. And I was like, okay. I was like, but like that dance call was like, it told a story more than like the ones who were like, you don't get to ask questions, you don't get to like not shouting at any schools, but you know the ones I'm talking about. So it was interesting, but go with your bit.
No, I was actually gonna try to actually talk,
Oh,
but that's okay.
No, talk.
Okay. So some experiences will go like that, where they tell you that you're amazing and you're the best thing they've ever seen since sliced bread, but it's impossible to like gauge what the programs are thinking. Because like again, like for my CCM audition, I walked in, I sang my
Funny
first
story.
song. They said, I came in, I did my whole package. So I sang my first song, sang my second song, did my monologue. And they're like, okay, great. Why do you want to come to CCM? And I told them why. And they're like, all right, great. That's it. And then luckily, Chaz was like, he looked at my resume and was like, oh, oh, you do Taekwondo. And so that brought up like a little tangent so I could
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
for
yeah.
a little longer. But like there's been a ton of auditions I did where I walked in, sang my stuff, and they said, great, bye. And those were the ones that I got accepted. And
Yep.
the ones where I went in and I sang my songs and they were like, wow, tell me about you. And we chatted for like 10 minutes, waitlisted or denied. So
Yeah.
you just don't know. You don't
It's
know.
very true.
Yeah.
It was just so weird because I hadn't had an experience like that ever at any audition, because usually they're not allowed to tell you. I mean, because then they have to tell everyone what their thoughts are, and then it's like you can't ask for feedback.
It's
and
never consistent, especially with
yeah.
I mean, I know there's been a number of people, especially for like walk-ins at Unifieds, that got accepted in the room.
Wow.
Like I have a lot of friends who like would walk in and they do their thing. My friend walked into Lipa for acting and did it, and immediately they were like, "We want you here."
wow.
I was like, "What?"
is your friend at Lipa?
No,
That's crazy.
he's at
though.
Carnegie.
Oh well. That's
goat.
awesome. I didn't do any walk-ins.
Neither did
Ever.
I
oh,
tried
you
to do
did-
as many
you-
walk-ins
I-
as I
Same.
could.
I
Crazy.
did probably 10 walk-ins.
Me too.
Like,
I did 10 schools total. That
'Cause
was it.
Here's the thing. I went to both New York and Chicago Unified.
Same.
That's crazy.
So, and
You
I
you did too?
Mhm.
Yeah, so did
I live in New Jersey.
I knew this. You can walk there. No, you can't, but you're pretty
I
close.
could if I wanted.
I
3
and I live here around all the Ohio schools. So I drove to a lot of schools. I did New York Unified and I did Chicago. So I had a lot of downtime. New York less so because it's a little shorter than
Mhm.
Chicago. So I didn't do any walk-ins in New York. But Chicago, I had a couple days where I only had one real audition. So I did just walk-in after walk-in after walk-in. And honestly, I'll be real. I wasn't going to go to any of those places, but it was a lot of fun.
No,
It was a
yeah.
lot of fun because I also did Pittsburgh Unified. So I was
You
coming.
did Pittsburgh too?
I did Pittsburgh as well.
Why?
Fun.
Oh, wait. Okay, I'm sorry. That just like triggered something for me. Did you know that Pittsburgh Unifieds posted all of your like monologue and song auditions in like hour-long increments, and also your dance calls? And so the way that I found my rep for Diags was seeing somebody else sing that song, and I was like, wait, that's kind of a fire song. And so I sang it for Diags because I saw it in the Pittsburgh Unified's videos. Yeah,
Where,
it was
where do
kind
they-
of
where do they
awesome.
post
I
those?
don't think they're up anymore.
But
but,
where
like,
were they?
They were on YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah, I bet I probably watched yours.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm sure you were amazing. No, it was like so impressive to watch, and like I don't know, it's just so cool seeing like people our age like getting ready for this. I don't know.
I love Pittsburgh Unified.
It's
Like,
early.
It's structured
It's so
differently. It's
early.
where you
Yeah.
like do one audition in front of like all the
Mhm.
schools,
You,
and then
you
they,
go into
they-
one room,
Yeah, right.
and they're all sitting there, and then there's a video recording for a bunch of schools who are there
Mhm.
virtually, and you just go in, do your stuff, and then they ask you a question, and that's it. And then it's so crazy because it's organized by like one woman, and she has to, that night of after auditions, everyone auditions, and then the schools tell her who they want called back, and she has to put together the schedule for the next day
Oh my
of
god.
all of the callbacks.
That's
So
crazy.
so you just have to go to sleep, and you wake up with an email that was sent out at 4:30 a.m.
Oh my god.
of all the callbacks that you have to do, and it's crazy. But like the callbacks are just like you sit down and you just like chat, because
cool.
Aw.
So it's like an interview.
yeah, and it's like it's
Sick.
because these are less competitive programs, so they're just like
Mhm.
you come in, they're like, do you know anything about us? And you should. I was I was because my callback day was a little packed, so I'd be sitting outside of the room and being like, okay, what do they do?
I do the same.
That's so funny.
Because I had no idea who I was going to be called back for until I woke up that morning. So it's totally chill, and it's because it's in the fall, it's such a nice way to just like get your feet wet, maybe get a couple acceptances.
Start the
under your
audition
belt.
season. Yeah.
So then you can just have a lot of confidence going into the real season.
When did you guys? Oh no, go.
No, sorry. Pittsburgh Unified just happened, I think.
It did. It did.
Wow,
I had a
we
couple-
should
I had a couple
see
of
if the
friends that
YouTube
went there.
videos are up.
I'm not. I would feel so bad just like going and watching other people
Some
audition
random
who are like
people?
going to be auditioning for our school. Like
Oh my
that's
gosh.
that's so
The
scary.
amount of people who've been DMing me.
This
I
is
mean,
so
you
fun.
know this of the like, I'm thinking about auditioning for CCM. Like those people, it's like so interesting to see because it's like I didn't have anyone here that I knew. There was no one that I was like, can I come tour your school? But like I know so many people now who are like, can I come tour? What are your thoughts on the
Yeah.
school from a student's perspective? And I'm like,
Mhm.
I've been here for 8 weeks, but I'll tell you what I like.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
people have asked me this.
Yeah, it's super interesting. But I'm really excited. I'm like, if you come tour, like let me know. And like I'm really excited. I hope we get to help out in the spring with
I
auditions.
really want to.
I
help out with
really want
auditions.
to. Like I literally.
You gotta sign up.
When
It's just like they send out a thing and whoever gets.
Oh, and I'm ready. I'm on it.
I'm ready for that email. That's like
That-
that's like when we're gonna get the
those were your
Instagrams. That'll be a crazy night. When we get all the accepted students'
Oh,
Instagrams
right.
and we get to follow them all. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Scary.
Anyway, Matthew, you talked about your friends, and the PP. Wait, no, we're gonna go wildcard editions, wildcard videos first,
Oh.
and then we'll go to that tangent.
Okay.
We have to do wild card.
Okay.
So Matthew,
My
wildcard.
wild card. So my wild card was. Okay, so because
First
I.
of all, what is a wild card?
Jamie, before you drink that water, know that it's not yours.
That's mine. I actually would like it though. Thanks.
So nice.
Do they know what a wild card is, or should I?
I mean, we've talked about it on past episodes, but we've actually never addressed it. So thank you.
If you're
for...
not watching it chronologically, what are you doing?
Yeah, real. I mean.
Okay, so what's a wild card?
So a wild card.
Big talk.
So
Okay.
a wild card is a video that your colleges, most colleges ask for one. There's some that don't.
Yeah.
Lame. And it's just any special interest or like other talent you might have that either can be theater related, can be not. If you want to do a video of you tapping, you can do that. Like my wild card for
But only do tap if you're exceptional at tapping, because everybody does tap. So you better be like world renowned at tapping if you do tap.
Yeah.
Or bring your own personal spin to it. Something that shows your personality.
Mhm.
Don't
Dude, this
just-
guy taps, and he didn't tap.
this guy taps. So like my wild card video was because I was at boarding school and I like couldn't really like leave to go like do like a really like artsy like whatever sort of like wild card video. I wouldn't even know what I've done. I went back. So during the pandemic, I filmed. Everybody in my family is a musician. I think they're gonna ask me about that later.
We are.
And we filmed a video for the Chicago Symphony, which is the orchestra that my dad's a part of us, my whole family, playing Rhapsody in Blue. And at the time, I was in 8th grade playing the tuba, and so yeah, and actually,
Wah, wah.
it's not how a tuba sounds.
Probably is.
Nope.
I think it does.
This guy knows what a tuba sounds like.
I went trombone. I think.
You did go trombone.
I know my
um,
instruments.
Great. Before we filmed this video, I was like I had been thinking about quitting tuba for a bit because I'd wanted to pursue theater more and I didn't want to have to like also spend a lot of time practicing tuba and whatever. And so when my mom came to ask me to play like with everybody else, one, I was super scared because everybody in my family is really good at their instrument and I'm like, I'm really not as good as everybody. I'm in 8th grade and everybody else is in high school or a professional musician. And so I started sobbing and I ran down into my basement, slammed the door, and just like refused to come out until finally they convinced me and I went up and I filmed the video. And then we went viral and we got like 1.3 million views. And a bunch of like radio shows asked us to like play songs for them during the pandemic because this was like nobody had done this before.
How do we not know this story? This
don't
is
know.
awesome.
Talk about
I
it.
want to see this video.
Oh god, my toes are out in it. Like
Ooh.
it's so embarrassing.
You've seen it?
Our toes
He's-
are out in acting class.
Oh, this is true.
Yes.
Love acting. But I took that video off YouTube and I shortened it a little bit and like added a cut because it was over. The wild card has to be less than 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And I just like put in iMovie and I was like, this is a video of the Williamson family playing Rhapsody in Blue. We did this during the height of the pandemic. And I just like added little things to it. That was it. It was the least effort wild card I could have done, but I think it explained a lot about who I was as a person, regardless.
No, I think that's honestly a great idea. And honestly, like showing a video of you younger is like really cool because I can like see how you've grown as a person,
Yeah.
but like also see like where you come from.
Yeah.
Which is like two things that they want to know about you.
Yeah, so it was a fun little way for me to not only still focus on like my actual auditions and like learning my material while still representing who I think I am. So that was my wild card.
Really cool.
So deciding my wild card was pretty easy. For those of you who don't know, I am a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Woo! Flex number one.
And I'm a certified instructor as well. So I really spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to showcase in that video, though, because you only get 60 seconds. And I think it would have been really easy for me to just be like, okay, I'm going to do my form. And then just do something.
What's your form for those who don't know?
Well, a form is just like a collection of Taekwondo moves, just like in a row.
Awesome.
So, like, I could have just done a demonstration of technique, but for the wild card, I wanted to be able to show off more about my personality and who I am and why Taekwondo matters to me. So, I instead made a video like in iMovie, and I just like was talking through it about how I started Taekwondo, why I'm drawn to it, how it relates to my theater, and then throughout that I had a bunch of like B-roll footage of different techniques I've done. Like I showed off the different weapons that I teach in my weapons class. I have like little shots of me like teaching my class, so like me with my kids, like with like holding pads and teaching.
I want to watch this wild card after. We're gonna watch it.
Okay, yeah,
I
I'll
haven't
show
seen
it to you guys.
We have to watch both of them.
Like showing them how to roll, that kind of thing. So, and I think that showing my personality with that was pretty awesome.
That was the reason why I was like confident to ask you to be my roommate, because I saw you teaching these little kids how to do Taekwondo. I'm like, this guy's great.
This guy's
like,
not
that's
creepy.
awesome.
He's awesome.
I didn't think he was creepy. The
Cool.
fuck? I was just like, I was like looking at your
Spooky
Instagram,
season.
and you're not like an avid Instagram user,
Mm-mm.
and so there was like
no.
a photo of you doing like your side kick like on
the beach with Evan.
and I'm like,
Oh,
that photo is
do I
hilarious.
want to live with this guy for 4 years?
Yes.
And I watched your wild. I was like
4
stalking.
years. You already decided. I mean,
Of course.
yeah.
What are you,
Same.
what are you talking
I mean,
about?
we're in the same boat. So.
But
He's like,
I
yikes.
stalked your Facebook and I saw your wild card because your dad had posted it.
Your dad posted your
Yeah,
wild
on
card?
Facebook.
Oh.
And I was like,
Shut up.
I showed it to my mom. I'm like, this is sick. Like, this is awesome. And then I texted you. It was awesome.
Wow.
Was it like a quick little DM?
It was a DM. No, it was Snapchat. It was
It was a
Snapchat.
Oh my
Because
god.
we were in the freshman Snapchat group chat, which we never
Aw.
used.
We never use.
Never.
We text. We don't even use Instagram either. We used
I
to
forgot we had
Snapchat
an
a lot.
Instagram.
We used to.
It
s-
started with
It
It started with
Why?
Instagram because we didn't have anybody's number.
That's insane.
And we were figuring out who committed based on.
Instagram
Instagram.
posts, and so we would
Right.
slowly add more people. So it started with me and Nyla and Maddie.
I made the group chat though. I remember
That's
because
such
I
an-
told you
that's
guys.
So
a
it was us
crazy
four?
starting
Yeah.
Trio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, trio.
What a trio.
Yeah, that was because accepted Students Week, and we were the only three who were committed.
That's crazy.
Because I was first,
Yeah.
and then Nyla, and then Maddie, and then
Right.
I think Gabby, and then you. Mm-hmm.
And then Annie.
Yes.
Annie took the commitment photos at Accepted Students Day.
Yeah. We all did.
Annie didn't tell anybody.
I
that she
didn't.
committed, though.
You live here.
Yeah.
Until we saw her
Well-
on the Cincy 2020.
Yeah, we were so mad. We were like, Annie, what? And she was like, surprise! And we were like,
That's such an Annie thing.
it really is. I remember I DM'd Gabby though, because Gabby, we had talked at, we took a picture together at Accepted Students Weekend. Like we talked about this on our first episode, but it was like, she posted her thing, and like 5 minutes later, I DM'd her and was like, hey, would you maybe consider being roommates? And you weren't like, oh, you were like, yeah. And then I was like, cool. And then like I was really scared at like 2 months before school started, and I DM'd her this summer again, and I was like, "Hey, you're still good to be roommates, right?" We'd been talking too, and I was really scared that she's gonna be like, "I found someone else," or
That's
blah blah
crazy.
blah.
If you say yes to being somebody's roommate and then you find another roommate, who
Listen,
would
I was
do
just
that?
really scared.
That's
I was really
insane.
scared, and so then she was like, "Yeah," and then we like found our apartment and everything, but it was
I found your
pretty cool.
apartment.
I kind of knew.
Yeah,
It's
me
good.
3.
Yeah, before.
Matthew, do
Just
you want to
joking.
talk a little bit about your high school experience and how it differed from all of ours?
No. Like I can. I
Just
can.
like-
What do you like?
Just talk a little bit about what
Do I
your
have a
school is
choice?
like. I'll introduce the topic and then you can comment. So for those of you who are approaching college auditions, there will be at least 3 people you'll meet along the way.
Probably 40.
No, at least 3. I can start there.
For sure.
Chicago, I remember.
Yeah, you guys were all on a field trip together. There's
Yeah.
a school called Interlochen in somewhere in Michigan.
It's
Interlochen, Michigan. It's right by
Interlochen,
Traverse
Michigan.
City.
Interlochen, Michigan, right by Traverse City. For those who know Michigan,
If you're on the MIT, it's like here-ish, I think.
okay,
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
really cool. It is a performing arts high school boarding school
Yeah.
that has not only theater, right?
Yeah, there's I think it's 7 or 9 disciplines.
Wow.
They're
What did you say?
No,
instrumentalists.
well, like, in sophomore year, like,
Did
I
not
actually
sound like
did-
that.
I, like, considered applying to Interlochen. And then
Why
I didn't.
didn't you?
You guys would have been friends.
No, I probably would have
would've-
hated
Oh.
you. Yeah, I mean, there's what are the disciplines?
Specific.
Musical theater,
Mhm.
acting. There's 2 separate tracks for that now.
Okay.
It used to just be theater. Thank you. And then there's visual art, classical, like instrument music, you know. There's
Instrumentalist.
jazz. There's interdisciplinary, which is like a mixture of all of them.
Oh.
Of everything?
Yeah. Oh God, what else is there? Oh, dance. Creative writing.
Ooh.
I think that's all of them.
Really cool.
Might
And
be.
you were part of
Musical theater.
musical theater, obviously. Very cool.
I was part of that.
Very awesome. And I mean, other than it just being like a boarding school, did you take regular classes still, like, or was it more so of a conservatory style learning?
It
like
was
now?
still conservatory style training actually, which is weird for a high
You
school.
have to get a high
experience.
school diploma. Did you get a high school diploma?
Yes, I did.
Hooray!
No, I just didn't graduate high school probably.
Actually, you wouldn't be able to go here if
Exactly.
you didn't have a high school diploma.
So it's still a high school. I mean, I took academics, not a lot, granted. I mean, my junior year I took 3 academic classes, and then the rest were all theater. I had a dance class every. We had dance all. We didn't do like a block schedule. We had all of our classes every single day.
okay.
So, and then my senior year, I only went there for 2 years.
Oh, I thought it was all 4.
No,
Junior and senior?
just junior and senior, and I went to my public high school before that.
Yeah, I do remember that because you talked about your football stadium.
I did.
Yeah, he did. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. And so I took 2 academics my senior year, which was I only took 3 years of math in high school, which was so lovely. I stopped at pre-calc because I didn't learn anything.
I didn't even get to pre-calc.
That what?
I stopped at CP stats. Algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, CP stats.
You stopped at statistics? That's crazy. I mean, we only had 2
2 plus
APs,
2 is
so, and one of them
4.
was stats.
What is CP?
So, because I went to a private school, we had college preparatory classes, honors classes, and AP classes.
So college preparatory is just the lowest. So just regular.
stats.
But our classes were harder than public schools classes. So that's why it wasn't just a basic class. Because, like, you guys had integrative math, right? At public high schools?
The hell is that?
Okay, well, then maybe you didn't. Everybody that I know, I
No,
went
we
to.
only had AP stats. That's it.
Yeah, well, we didn't have honor stats. So I would have taken honor stats, but there
we
wasn't.
didn't have that. We only had AP. Oh, at my high school, we only had AP stats.
Well, we had CP stats, which is like easy stats.
Oh, yeah, I think my school only had AP stats.
Yeah,
too.
because we weren't required to take any stats.
Yeah,
Well, it was the easy way. So I would have either had to take pre-calc or stats, and I can't do that kind of math. Like, so I took stats, and I got like an A the whole year. So, because
Ooh,
Wow.
okay.
Guys, this is the latest we've ever filmed the podcast.
ooh,
Just to preface that.
Matthew's in his cave. It's a Sunday night, actually. It's coming out on Wednesday, but it's Sunday right now. We're gonna get to our next question. You talked a
Okay.
little bit in your wild card about one of your loves in life. Do you want to talk about it a little bit more?
One of my loves in life.
It is one of your loves. One of your biggest loves in your life. Marshall.
Probably Matthew's my number
Arts.
one love in life.
Aww.
It's really
What do they do, Gabby?
They stretch together, don't you guys?
We need to get back on that. a little bit.
Nice.
We've been slacking on our nightly
Me
stretches.
and Gabby have like started.
It's because I need to.
We're on the floor sometimes.
Oh.
I
Okay,
don't remember that.
let's pivot. Let's pivot.
Let's pivot.
Pivot turn. Pivot
So-
turn.
Yeah, I've been doing taekwondo since I was 5 years old.
Aw.
So it's been just a huge part of who I am, what I do. But
This guy.
you know, theater has always like taken precedent. So there's been long periods of time where like in the summer I'm not able to show up for like weeks. But you know, I keep my training up at home as much as I can. And starting at 14, I took over a Monday night weapons class, so I've been teaching that weekly. And yeah, what was I supposed to like?
Oh,
talk about?
the way you started dancing and how it helped, because you didn't start
Yes.
dancing till.
Yeah. So I was a.
And
I
Jameson
was-
is a very good dancer, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I am in
I'm only being nice to you because we're on the podcast.
ballet 1.
Woo! Ballet 1, ballet fun.
But I am.
You should be happy.
You should.
I'm very happy.
Ballet 1 is awesome.
We won't
Ballet
we,
two is-
we won't get into all of that.
La, da, da, da.
But yeah, I was a late bloomer when it comes to theater and dance. So like I did theater all throughout middle school and high school, and I did tons of shows. Like I was always in at least 2 or 3 shows at a time.
Oh my god.
Like never had a break.
Oh
But
my
I
gosh.
only made the decision to go into theater sophomore year.
Wow.
Before that, I was like set on doing finance. Because
Oh, you
Yeah.
were.
yeah,
Wow, it's all clicking.
I
Finance, bro. You would have made a lot more money.
so much
So
more
much money.
money. So much more money.
Personal finance
I-
people are
Passion,
crazy
guys.
rich.
No, it's because I literally, as a kid, I looked at my neighbor's house. I said, I want that.
the one with the pool,
The one with the really nice.
the really
pool.
nice pool, or the really
The
nice,
really
the really nice pool. Oh,
And that
Whew.
Mr. Shuley, shout out him. He is a financial planner.
yeah.
And
Does he work from home too?
He
Because sometimes you get to work from home and it's incredible.
I'm
like
not sure.
literally.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But his wife is a stay-at-home mom. They've had 4 kids. He supports all of that amazing house. He's also just like a wonderful person. Like I just love him so much. But so I was like dead set on that. Like as a kid, my parents got me a bank account like in elementary school, and and
What do you
I
want for
was-
Christmas?
I was-
A bank account.
Yes, I was so excited, and we show up, and I found out that it had simple interest, and I cried my eyes out because I wanted it to be compound interest.
Oh.
Because I'd watched the Brain Pop about the difference
Brain
between
Pop!
Brain-
interests.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
yeah.
like I was like really into that kind of thing. But then sophomore year came around, the school show was Crazy for You. I was like, man, I think I have a chance at the lead in this. But if I want to try to get this, like I need to like actually work my butt
more
off.
finance.
Because everyone thought it was gonna be the senior guy who was gonna be the main character. I was like, if I want this, like I gotta like work my ass off.
Mhm.
So I started taking tap lessons over the summer before sophomore year. And then once sophomore year started, I started taking a ballet class,
Ballet?
which
Who
was a rough experience.
who is in your
for me.
ballet class, Jamie?
I show up. It's my first class. I'm like coming in, like they've already started. They know all the like warm up combinations, all the bar stuff. I come in. I don't even have ballet shoes bought yet. I'm like, should I wear socks or should I go bare? They're like, go barefoot. So I don't know why they told me that.
That's a bad choice.
Socks are way
I
better.
can't imagine like pirouettes barefoot. That doesn't sound.
So I'm standing there at the bar, barefoot. Never done any kind of ballet. I have no idea how to hold my arm. I'm like that, and I'm in a room full of middle school girls. And I'm a sophomore. I'm a sophomore in high
You're a
school.
sophomore.
That's I bet.
Only boy, only person in high school, and they are all so much better than me.
Yeah.
I was terrible,
Yeah.
and I just knew like they like in their brains are like, look at this bozo, like what is he doing in here? And like it actually like killed me every day. Like I said a total of 2 words for the entire year. I never talked to anybody. I walked in, I did it, and I walked out, and I would sit in the car like this.
Yeah.
But you know what? I got better at ballet.
Hooray!
And then
and now
and
you're
then-
gonna be
I did it the next year
yeah.
as well. Luckily, I got 2 of my friends to join me.
Indeed.
So there was 2
Oh.
high schoolers with me. But all of those middle school girls who were super intimidating and mean graduated to ballet 3. So I was still in ballet 2, but now it was with elementary school girls. And I was better than them.
Yay! And now you're gonna be in the Nutcracker.
And now I have a gig this winter to be in the Nutcracker.
If
guys
only
sound so
sophomore Jamie could see you now.
Exactly.
You're so far ahead.
But yeah, ballet has been rough for me. But in terms of jazz, I took like probably 4 or 5 private jazz classes over one summer. And then other than that, I've had 0 jazz training. But
That makes me upset.
through my taekwondo, it's so similar, and I have like the body awareness that comes with that. I was able to translate that into dance, and I'm pretty solid at jazz, if I say so myself.
Yeah.
So-
Fucking awesome.
Fine, it's
And now we're picking up so many combos while we're swinging. Wonderful town. too.
exactly.
True.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Wonderful Town Crew, guys. I'm in a baking
Yay.
club.
What?
The context behind that is us 3 are doing Wonderful Town, and she's
I'm not. I didn't want to be in it, but I'm also just not in it. Not my show. But I have been baking a lot of things with Gabby's boyfriend Griffin. Shout out Griffin. So this week we're making a pumpkin roll, which is going to be delicious. And I think we're going to try to do something else. Where Tuesday and Thursday are our baking days this week. So we're going to transfer to our next question. What's next? Oh, Zolarfest. The audience of our podcast watchers has actually found out about Zolarfest a couple of times because it's been slightly mentioned. And last episode was you
No.
guys' bigs were in it. So
This
that was
is true.
shout out Dan and Maddie D. Those are their bigs. And they
Dan and
talked a little
Maddie
bit about it
D.
because Dan did win King of Zolarfest, which is a very big deal. But do you just want to talk about why your family start
Special skills.
special kills? But do you just want to talk about why your family started it? And Matthew, would you like to talk about your experience at your first Zolarfest? Because it was also our first experience, and just like the whole shebang.
Yeah, so Zolarfest is a Octoberfest celebration that my family throws every year. So we're Cincinnati. We live in Cincinnati, and Cincinnati has the largest Octoberfest celebration anywhere outside of Germany. So we take it seriously around here. And it started 2020, the year of COVID, because the downtown Oktoberfest got canceled, and we're like, well, we have to have an Oktoberfest. So we threw our own, maybe like 4 people were in attendance. Some like people from the street like came down, but it was a super chill event. We didn't even call it Zolarfest the first year.
Oh, really?
We didn't come up with that
That's fun.
It was like Driveway Fest or something like
Oh.
that. It was like come to our socially distanced Driveway Fest. Or, I don't know. I don't remember. But the branding has really taken off on the event. We have personalized tents. We have our own logo. Like
The Steins.
my father, who is going to watch this, he watches every episode.
Yay!
It's just his favorite thing in the world. Like he spends all year thinking about how can I make this event more enjoyable for everybody involved, and he just loves it so much, and I just think that shows in the event, and I look forward to it every year. But let's hear how it is from an attendee standpoint.
I'm the said attendee. I have ever since Jameson told me about Zolarfest, I was ecstatic. Ooh, I was ready.
Ecstatic.
That's the word I would use to
I
describe
love
it.
that word.
I was so stupidly excited to go to Zolarfest because it was like he told me that he had lederhosen that I could wear, and that sold me. And I mean, I took German since 5th grade to my sophomore year in high school. So already
Yeah.
I was like, I went to Germany in 7th grade for a school trip.
Yeah.
Like that, like I'm a big fan of Octoberfest. And so getting to wear lederhosen, and do the chicken dance with a chicken mask on,
Great photos.
in front of, how many people were there? At least
There were a
like,
lot.
There was, I think, 200. I think there was 200 people in attendance.
Wow.
This around there.
there were so many people. And so I did the chicken dance with Jameson and Griffin, Gabby's boyfriend. Shout out Griffin. It was such a time, and there were so many characters in attendance. Like, and Jameson should tell me
shirts.
about like all these people in his life, and like all these people who I just have to meet. And I finally met them at this event, and lives were changed.
It really
I
was
must say.
a big
So many
crossover
crossovers.
episode, and it was so weird because I'd see someone walk around, I'd be like, oh, and then I'd like walk up to you and you'd be like, and I'd be like, that's that person who you told
Yeah.
that story
It
about.
was
And, like,
so much fun. And also, it was the same weekend as Parents Weekend.
yeah,
So all of like the
Aw.
The
CCM
MC
freshmen families were there. Like, some people brought their whole families. Other people's like grandparents were there for some reason.
and yeah,
And it was just so. It was such an insane group of people, but it was so fun.
Grandmaster Charlie Fry was there.
Grandmaster Charlie
and
Fry
we
was
didn't
like,
know him
What an
yet.
insane combo of people.
Yeah.
And then he talked about it in the self-defense class.
And we all were like,
Oh,
oh.
you remember?
He said,
Wow.
oh, we didn't see you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I was at Zolarfest for most of it, and then at a point, well, I accidentally invited all of the upperclassmen to Zolarfest
That was
because
funny.
Jameson was too scared to ask them, and then I talked about it, and they're like, "What's Zolarfest?
Jameson goes,
We're invited?"
"Ah."
And Jameson turns to me, and I go, "I just fucked that up, didn't I?"
I remember we were at kickball and that happened.
And
It was
then-
so funny.
It was a happy mistake, I think.
100%.
I would say so. And so they all went down to the actual Oktoberfest in Cincinnati, and some of us went and went down there with Zoo
and
Zoo
his-
Finkelstein's family,
Bob. Bob Finkelstein.
Bob Finkelstein.
And we sat in that tiny little car and we all fit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And we were there for what? We walked like 30 minutes.
We were there for maybe.
We were there for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was awesome. And then we
Um,
left.
And we waited
we went back to your
30
house.
minutes for an Uber to get to us before we could get back to Zolarfest.
Mm-hmm. Which Zolarfest at that point wasn't really Zolarfest. It was Zolarfest.
No, it was Zolarfest.
It was more
Trust
of
me,
a
Zolarfest.
Zolar fest.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, Zolarfest is perfect. Me and Gabby have made memories.
I look forward to next year.
I'm very excited. The MTs also have been raving about it. They're like, they were talking about how they're like, more people need to go next year. We're gonna keep going and everything. And so I'm excited that we get 4 years of it. Talking to your sister though, that was so sad because we were in the morning after we were all talking, and she was like realizing that like her friends were like we're like, can we make it next year? We don't know. We'll be doing a show or something, and like that's crazy that like they've been going for like 4 years, and now it's just like they have to go live their lives. No more
Yeah.
Zolarfest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Zolarfest tangent into
Is it the final?
No,
No. What other questions do we have?
his family.
Oh.
Oh, Matthew, you've grown up with quite a
musical family.
Would you like to talk about it?
No.
Do I have to?
Oh.
Do I have to?
Do I have to? Yeah, I can talk about my family.
What in your family like made you want to become a musician, or like what was it like growing up with a house full of musical people?
Yeah, so for context, for all the viewers, that was awesome. Everybody in my family is a classical musician. So my dad is the principal clarinetist in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
Shut up.
And also a part-time professor at Northwestern. And then my mom played on Broadway for a very long time. She was a French horn player. She's in the original Broadway cast of a bunch of different shows, which is awesome.
Slay.
And she is the director of orchestral studies at DePaul University. And then they both went to Eastman School of Music, and then they got their masters at Juilliard. And then my oldest brother Ryan is currently the second French horn in the Phoenix Symphony Orchestra, which is his newest job.
Wow, yeah.
And he got his undergrad at Juilliard and his master's at Northwestern. And then my other brother Connor went to Juilliard for 2 years for classical trumpet, and he just recently committed to Berklee for music production.
Yay, Berkeley!
Which is very, very exciting. He's very passionate about his music. Shout out Turts on Spotify. Everybody should go listen to his music. It's very
Okay,
sick.
let's do it.
And I'm kind of the odd one out because I played tuba, and my family was really like, whether they'll admit it or not, I think they were very much encouraging me to go into tuba because I wasn't bad at it. Like, I was quite good, especially for my age. But it didn't bring me joy. Like, I didn't want to haul my tuba around and like fucking be like, gotta go practice tuba, and then walk like however far, like bring it up to like my room or something, or into like our like music studio, which is just a computer room where everybody practices, and just pull out this big ass instrument and start practicing. Like that just like wasn't how I wanted to live my life. And so I was growing up all the way up until 8th grade. I was doing travel soccer and playing tuba in band. And I was like, and also doing shows at the Children's Theater of Winnetka, which is right near me, you know. And so I ended up stopping playing tuba after a very, very long discussion with my family of like, I don't want to do this. I want to do theater. Like, this is like, I promise you, like, if you let me do this, trust I'll get there. Like,
yeah.
And my mom was very supportive because she had played on Broadway, and my dad had subbed on Broadway a bunch of times and whatever. And I grew up listening to like the Lion King soundtrack and like The Producers, and which is a crazy show to listen to growing up.
Crazy.
Yeah, but I
especially as a kid.
Yeah, I love that show though. It's so crazy.
Good.
Mel Brooks is awesome.
Hilarious. The movie's awesome.
The movie is so good. Nathan Lane.
Oh,
Mike King.
love Nathan Lane.
And Matthew Broderick.
Both
But
great actors. Keep it moving.
And so, I mean, growing up around that environment, it was a lot of pressure, I guess, because it was like, everybody in my family is like these like musical prodigies, and they like all did the shit. And that's like how my family was known, like in the town where we grew up. Even like I was born in New York, and so like even back there, like that's what they were known. And when we were there, my dad was in the New York Philharmonic and the Met Opera. And so like there was just like a lot of pressure to like be one of these like musical geniuses and like follow through with like the connections that my family had and do whatever, and like really, because I could have had a super successful classical music career just because of how
The people you know.
like
and how
it's truly like nepotism in that way. And I still have some like nepotism in theater, just like because of my mom, and like my parents went to college with Jason Robert Brown. Like they're like close
Shout out
friends.
Jason Robert Brown. Watch the pod.
Jason Robert Brown, please do not watch this podcast.
Please watch this podcast.
But
Jamie.
enough of that. But my family's always been super supportive of me and like the things I want to do and the things that bring me joy. And I think I'm doing quite well in
I agree.
following those joys and passions. And there's a reason why I'm able to succeed following what I actually love to do, instead of still succeeding but never having that fulfillment that I'm always looking for.
Yeah, that's I feel similar about like my life because both my parents went to Berkeley, shout out Berkeley, and my mom was a vocal major, and so like for so long I grew up going like I was like I want to go to Berkeley and I want to study voice like most of my life. I was like people would ask me in like elementary and middle school like what do you do when you grow up, and I was like I want to be a singer and I want to go to Berkeley and blah 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 because like I had grown up my parents telling me like they met on the first day of college, they've been married for 20 years, and like so many things that like made me want to go there and like do the thing. And then like I looked into it and I was like maybe I want to do musical theater because my mom didn't start acting until we moved to Nashville. Well, they moved because I wasn't born, and she like started doing theater when I was like 2 years old, which is like so crazy. She had like never been in a show before. She'd only done voice, and then she like now is a voice teacher and actor and everything. And so like I'm in the similar boat of like my dad was a jazz drummer, my mom was a singer. I didn't want to do that, but I wanted to continue something in the arts, but they weren't like you have to. Like they were like they love for me to be in music and like do something like that, and I feel like I found a good in between of like the way we found musical theater was like that's what made us happy. It wasn't just singing. I love singing. I wanted to do acting for a minute, and then I was like I can't stop singing. Like singing just makes me so happy. And so I feel like it was cool to grow up with musical family, and I love hearing how your siblings are like also musical. It's really cool.
I also wanted to do acting, just straight acting.
Yeah, for a long time.
I still want to do a ton of things.
Still. We all can. It's
That'd
like
be
that's
dope.
why we're trained.
It'd be sick.
Yeah. In all 3 disciplines. That's
It was-
I think that's what makes
1,
it
2,
so
3.
flexible.
Yeah, after Hamlet, like that was like, shit, this is really fun. Like, oh my
Production
god,
pictures from that is
that
Fire.
show was crazy. It was a crazy fucking show.
Yeah.
But
You need to find that bootleg.
they won't send it to me.
I'm gonna find it.
You go ask Bill Church.
I'm gonna find it.
Okay, you can't. Okay,
It's gonna happen.
I'll have to add because the fact that they're showing it in like the theater history class at school, like the production that I'm in, there's so many productions. Like you don't need to, and the fact that you're doing it and then
something
not
else.
sending it to me,
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm pissed.
Yeah, not quite nice. Yeah, because we read it senior year. So we watched like the old movie and then we watched the new movie
The
and
Laurence
we would
Olivier
switch.
one.
Yeah, so we
Right.
switched in between. Just like
Wait, the new movie? Which one's the new movie? Not the
the
Andrew
one
Scott?
in like 2010, 2012.
Was
the
it
one that
National
was, like,
Theater?
Yeah.
Roy Kinnear.
Yes.
Great
that
production.
production.
Very good
Awesome.
production.
Yeah, and me and my English teacher would always talk about it, and everybody would be like, "What are we watching?" And I'd be like, "It's this one."
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love theater.
I
but,
don't.
Yeah, it's also a really cool story. It's exciting.
Fucking sucks.
Who would major in musical theater?
Guys, who even would?
Guys,
Not
we're
us.
just here to make friends.
Guys, we're
You actually know the name now.
I'm just here to make enemies.
We're just here to make friends. I'm just here to make enemies.
Oh wait, that's what he said.
That's exactly what I said.
Okay, Jameson.
It's all love here.
Oh,
I'll be back.
okay. Bye, Matthew. You have a TikTok.
I do have a TikTok.
You have a TikTok. And I think one of the first things we found on your TikTok was you and your best friend Evan, which me and Gabby did have the pleasure of meeting this past 2 weeks ago,
That was last week.
last weekend.
Last weekend.
But that's like now 2 weeks, isn't it? Almost.
It's still Sunday.
Okay.
So it's still
Last weekend, we got to meet Evan in Nashville. Evan's your best friend, and you guys do a fun video together called
Drafts.
Blind Draft Rankings.
Wait,
Yeah.
it doesn't really have a title. We found these videos on TikTok and we're like, we want to do this where you pick a topic and then you draft things like you would like drafting like a sports team.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we had an idea that we could do a live draft with you two right now.
All right.
And our topic of choice, I scoured the TikToks and I had 2 ideas, but I think I'm gonna go with the first one first because the other one was kind of just copying a different one.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can think of 5 of these, but we're gonna try.
Is it us two versus you?
No. It's
No,
it's
it's just you two.
Okay, cool. I was
Yeah.
like,
And so we're gonna go with drumroll, Gabby. Condiments.
So
that's
draft the
what you
condiments.
scoured the internet
No,
for?
no, no. I made sure he didn't do it
Okay.
because I was like
All right.
musicals, obviously. doesn't have any. He already did musicals, movies, did musicals, desserts, did presidents. Shout out Taft.
He went to my church.
Taft went to his church.
Wait, what the notes a condiment?
If you say something, like if either of us says something, the other one has the ability to throw a flag, and then we'll refute the play.
Football.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We'll rock paper scissors for first pick.
I guess. I feel like we both know what the first pick is.
The first pick is obvious, and it's huge. So
Massive.
whoever gets this rock paper scissors pretty much wins the
Here,
draft.
let me hold the mic.
I don't know. I
You
think
can
there's-
rock, paper, scissors.
Like a comeback can happen, but it gives you a
It's-
huge lead.
Yeah.
We'll say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me hold the mic. Use
Out of 1 or 2.
Ew,
or
not
is it
having a
3?
hand
Just
to
one,
put the
just one.
rock
Wait,
paper.
let's look away. Ready?
Okay, here we go, guys.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
damn.
Everybody knows what I'm about to say.
Take the mic. Take the mic.
Do we?
And for the first pick in the condiment draft of 2024 on the We're Just Here to Make Friends podcast, I would like to choose 5-star recruit from Bama. Everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Going to the league at 16 years old, unprecedented, unheard of.
Wow.
I would like to take for the number 1 draft pick, ketchup.
That's pretty good.
And I'm just at such a disadvantage at this point. Like, because here's what I'm thinking. I have to take mustard next because if
He's the 5.
if you
it's the
get
2 everyone's looking
if
at.
you get mustard, that's an
I win.
unbeatable pair. Mustard is my first pick.
Great pick, solid. So I mean, it's really just those 2 contenders at this point.
I mean, you go to a barbecue, and what do you see? You see a bottle of ketchup, and you see a bottle of mustard. They play
it's
hand
true.
in hand.
It's true. And honestly, speaking of barbecue, I might just have to go. I'm gonna go with mayo.
I wanted mayo so bad.
The ketchup and mayo
Mayo's
combo is
Mayo chop.
Ugh.
Listen, I'm not a big
no questions at this time, please.
mayo fan, but I'm a big sriracha mayo fan, which includes mayo. So
That So
Also mayo.
Okay.
what was your point?
And okay, I guess my next pick is I'm gonna hope that you don't take this next, and I'm gonna save that, and I'm gonna go with barbecue sauce.
Right. Oh wow.
great choice. I love barbecue sauce.
I was gonna go with barbecue sauce actually. So that now I'm trying to think of what you don't want me to take. I'm on this podcast to expose the things that aren't funny.
Just in review, that wasn't very funny.
Not very tasteful.
just okay, but just for next time,
Just take a
let's-
note on that,
let's-
please.
Yeah, let's just try.
Just
to
write
do
that
better.
down. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, this could be an underdog depending on your perspective. I think it is an incredibly solid pick. And I'm gonna go with honey mustard.
That's gotta be a sauce,
Yes.
right? That counts. That's a
How would
sauce.
that not
okay,
be-
Okay.
It counts.
It
Do you know what
has
honey
to be
mustard
good.
is?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
For my-
Wow.
For my third pick, I'm going to go, and this is out of respect to Market Point, which is our dining hall. Hot sauce.
What kind?
Wow.
Just hot
If
sauce in
I'm-
general?
Like yes,
That's
but if I had to give a specific, it's the green pepper Cholula.
the green pepper Cholula.
Your best friend.
Great pick. Soy sauce.
Terrible pick.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Horrible pick. Terrible pick. And that
What do you have against soy sauce?
Best sauce, and no one can prove me wrong.
it's not the best because it is the least versatile
I
sauce
disagree.
out there.
I disagree.
So many things with it. Worcestershire sauce you make with
Soy sauce.
Soy sauce can be used for.
Soy sauce is also an A1.
Things. It's in steak sauce. It's like you use all Asian foods with it. Like, and it's not just Japanese. Like also like so many things use soy sauce as a seasoning that I bet you wouldn't even know.
This is true. I would have to.
I just personally, I don't like how it tastes. Doesn't taste good.
That's
I eat
crazy
my
take.
sushi raw.
soy sauce with wasabi in it. That's what you do.
I know that's what you do.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it taste good. It's so salty. Can you read me my picks out loud?
I can't. Mustard, barbecue sauce, hot sauce.
I am astounded that I've made it this far into the draft without drafting this condiment because it's my favorite one.
Really?
Ranch.
Yes! We were waiting.
I don't like ranch.
How
waiting, I
did
love
I
ranch.
forget ranch?
I'm not a ranch fan.
I love it.
Me and Gabby were literally talking
You-
about this.
Talk about versatility. You can put anything in ranch and it will taste good.
Let's go to pick 5, Matthew.
Yeah, let's continue
Pick
onward.
5.
Final pick.
Okay, I feel like I've been doing a lot of one-trick wonders sometimes. I have like a 2 to 2 ratio right now. Actually, I'm lying, because ketchup and mayo, super versatile.
Crazy versatile.
Honey mustard, still versatile. In what world?
You dip chicken nuggets in it.
Untrue.
What else?
Fries, sandwiches,
Chicken,
chicken.
other chicken.
Like
I put
that's
pizza
it's
in
like
it.
You did pizza and honey mustard.
Should try it.
That's not cool.
You just haven't experienced it.
I will say though that the honey mustard isn't always consistent.
Neither
Like-
is ranch apparently.
No, but ranch like usually tastes the same all around.
It's
Well,
Ran-
it depends,
ranch-
it depends on the kind of
ranch
honey
is
mustard.
always good at a restaurant. It's just when they bottle it and put the preservatives in it, it just changes it. It's just
What
it's
kind
just
of honey
different.
mustard are you eating?
Like Wendy's honey mustard isn't good.
This might be. I'm gonna go with syrup.
pretty
That's-
solid.
I like for a 5th round pick, like I get it, but
What is your takes on these? Are
it's like syrup.
Maple
Syrup is good. Here's the thing: you put it on a pancake, you put it on a waffle.
Oh, there was
Untrue.
one other
You
one.
put it on bacon. You
Rubbing
put it on
French
chicken.
toast.
Yep.
Maple bacon.
I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
syrup on
You
chicken
make
is
sweet
so
and
good.
sour sauce with it sometimes.
What's the what are
So for my 5th round pick, I am going to take cane sauce.
Oh. That wow. Because I almost said Polynesian sauce.
Yum yum sauce. Fire.
No, I can agree with that. Okay. Fair. Okay. I'm quite happy with my.
Yeah. Who do we think won?
I think it's pretty obvious who won, and it's not me.
I'm
I
really a sucker for this.
Gabby, I really think he did win
I think he did
because
win, too.
3 of those are my favorite sauces ever.
Same.
I do love ketchup, but barbecue sauce, hot
That
sauce,
is
and
ridiculous.
ranch. Jamie is our king. There's your crown.
I'm sorry, but like
That is
mayo-
ridiculous.
I don't like mayo.
That's actually fucking insane that you're saying that.
I don't like
mayo and honey mustard
mayo.
is good.
What the
Mayo
fuck about
is
ketchup?
good.
Ketchup, mayo,
No,
honey mustard, soy
ketchup-
sauce, and fuck, what was
Ketchup
that last one?
cannot-
Syrup.
maple syrup.
Ketchup cannot stand by itself.
Listen,
I disagree.
Soy
I
sauce
disagree.
soy sauce would be the only thing that really did sway me over. But
What the fuck?
I could drown myself in barbecue sauce. I love it so much. And hot sauce, I've grown to love even more these past few years. And like hot chicken, you can't make hot chicken without hot sauce.
Honestly, I think you messed up with ketchup.
What? That's wrong.
You're a fucking psycho. What the? Who the fuck are you, Gabby?
You think about condiment, you think about ketchup. It's
No,
just
but
it's
ketchup
the name
can't-
of the game.
Ketchup isn't good by itself. It's
Yeah.
only good with mayo.
That's
Mayo
a
chutney.
lie.
Literally, your
You're
takes
lying.
are fucking abysmal. They're
Don't
so
listen to
bad.
Gabby. Don't listen to Gabby.
And he also does have mayo. So
I
top
also
of
have
top-
mayo.
No, yeah, but
So
mayo
you
is
can
good
combine
by
the two.
itself.
You're
Mayo
fucking
is
crazy.
good. Mayo is good by
This is
itself.
our most explicit episode so far.
What?
Crazy.
Mayo is good by itself. Ketchup is not good by itself.
That is the most reverse take that has ever happened.
Okay, break it up.
I
We're
can't talk
all,
to
we're
you
all
anymore.
friends.
I'm not. We were just here to make friends, guys.
make enemies. I've stated this. I need a break.
You're friends with the
I'm
enemy.
just here to win the draft.
Alright, you guys have any final thoughts that you'd like to tell to the audience about just college auditions, going to college for musical theater?
Why are you laughing?
Going to college for musical theater. I don't know, any advice for the crowds?
Do something else. No.
Finance.
Finance.
I'm looking for finance. Just
Oh, I didn't even tell you the end of that story. Is that like I sat down with my neighbor, the finance neighbor, and was like, and he was the one that actually convinced me that I should go into theater, because he was like, you can always come back to finance, because like he majored in history.
Wow.
So he was like, you'll, no matter where you are, you always have a place at my company if you want to come, like work from the bottom.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So, he's a good guy. I really love him. Anyways, final advice is that it only takes one. You only can go to one school. It only takes one. So, I applied to 25 schools and did like 10 walk-ins.
Oh.
And I think that is a great strategy, because you're maximizing your ability to find the school that is best for you. And you're going to be doing it all anyway. Why not fill your schedule up? Like, if you're going to be going to Unifieds, fill it up. Might as well.
If you have the means.
Of course. You can always like reach out to schools as well and be like, hey, is there any help you can provide for like
A lot of them
fee
do,
waivers?
yeah.
For sure. But yeah, I think even if you don't apply to that many schools, just being okay with, like, there are going to be schools that say no, there are going to be schools that put you on the wait list and you never hear from again, but it only takes one. And so, like, I can just forget about all of the rejections along the way, because all I needed was CCM to say yes.
Brilliant. My piece of advice is, well, one, yes to that. And also, if you want to do musical theater, understand that it's not a degree that you can go to and then be like, oh, I'm not really feeling up to class today, I can't go, I don't want to. That doesn't fly. That's not, if you are spending all this time, all this money, all this unnecessary stress that you're putting yourself through, the least you can do is show up and go to the class and go to the training that you're paying for. Because if you can't love the work that you're doing every single day, from, like, what's our schedule, from 8 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. if you're in rehearsals, then this isn't the profession for you. And you will get burnt out and you will have really hard times, but going back to the love of the work that you have and the love of this is why you're trying to do this for the rest of your life, that's what should keep you in school, and that should be the reason why you're applying, because you know you're somebody that will do this. And that's what I would say to that.
And it's important to think about, like, this profession that we're going into is like one of the hardest things out there to do. It's like, if you want to pursue this, like, you have to be like in it to win it from the beginning.
You can't be semi-confident.
And like,
You gotta have a little bit of blind confidence.
You have to ask yourself, as like a self check-in, like, am I going into theater because this is what I love and this is what I want to dedicate my life to? Or do I want to go into theater because it's fun and I did it in high school and I don't really want to do schoolwork in college? So that's just like just a little check-in.
It's a really great point.
Because you see people out there, they go into theater and then they get into college and they're just like, I don't.
They switch their major to year 2.
Yeah.
And
So-
you wasted that time.
Especially
and
since
so
college
much money.
auditions are so difficult
And expensive.
and expensive.
Like,
you,
my
you
parents
really want
would
to
be
make
so
sure you're
angry
in it to win it.
if I wasn't fully committed to that.
Wait, I just want to say something. And you don't need to know that now. Like, you don't need to, like, for everybody that's like still applying to college, like, you don't. It's so confusing, especially once like rejections and waitlists and acceptances start coming in. Like, you will start to doubt yourself so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And it'll become a thing of like, is this the thing that I really want to do with my life? And like, I had a lot of friends who went through a process like that where they didn't get accepted like anywhere, and they were just like waitlisted at one school, and they were like, I'm gonna go to somewhere for business.
Yeah.
And every time, because they were so talented, and every time I'd be like, I know you're gonna get off that waitlist. I know you're gonna go to school for this because you're meant to do this. Because I know how hard these people work. So yeah, and just guys, just have fun.
Have a great time.
Guys, just have fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
We're literally playing pretend every day, and we get paid for it, hopefully. But like sometimes.
Just say yes and that. Like you don't have to have like your whole plan mapped out. Like you don't have to go to New York to be a successful musical theater
We're in
artist.
Ohio, guys.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a personal like, is this what I love? Rather than like I need to have the next 20 years of my life mapped out, and then I'm gonna audition for this show, and then I'm gonna do, like you don't first things first. First things first.
Yeah.
Even like upperclassmen in our school can talk to that, like people booking and like being on tours. Like they didn't think that was gonna happen. They thought they were gonna go to college and then do something, and it's like, oh, I booked a tour and I'm gone for my senior year. We're like, oh, okay, cool, congrats. But like maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. It's so unpredictable. Oh, this was awesome. Can you
guys
tell
for
we're
being
friends?
pod.
We are here to make friends, and
We made friends.
we made friends, guys. We did it.
Did we say bye?
Let's say bye.
Alright. Let's wrap it up.
Let's say goodnight and bye to these wonderful viewers. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you'll come back after this interesting episode. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.